Hello vinyl community, I'm back with you again to do another vinyl spins. I've been gone for a little bit. Missed out on a video update from last week because I was on travel. I went back to my hometown and I just happened to grab a couple records from my teenage years on my trip back. So just to show you, I haven't been spinning these. I need to clean them up. Don't know what they sound like. They could be pretty scratchy, but Aha, hunting high and low. For those of you in Europe and Asia, Aha only had one real hit record in the United States, and this was it. It wasn't until I went to Europe and I heard these guys more on the radio. I'm like, wow, there's more to them than just this record, so it was pretty cool to get more exposure to them outside of this record, which was their only hit in the United States. Can't speak for Canada, but yeah. The other record I just happened to grab was Europe, the Final Countdown. Little late 80s hair metal and group of 5 Swedes. I mean, this album is great. I mean, it doesn't get any better when 5 Swedes sing about an Indian tribe. Yeah. Odd mix, but yeah, this was one of my favorite albums from my teenage years. So, wanted to do a couple of shout-outs. First to Frank at channel 33 RPM. I got your shirt. And if you guys haven't heard of Frank, he does wonderful videos. What I love about his videos is they're bite-sized. They're about 3 to 4 minutes, really quick, really well edited. His channel is brilliant. He mixes it up. He talks about gear, he talks about records. So if you're into metal, you're into really quick videos that are really well edited, check out Frank's channel. Another shout out to my friend John in Greece, John K. TechHead. He sent me some VCLT, and plus I ordered his vinyl, Dubaptism #2, and he personalized it, and thank you very much, John. This is just great. The other 2 items, actually 3 items that he sent me, I have not been able to clean up yet and spin. I am a little bit familiar with them, just checking them out digitally. So Blamehul Isles, which is a Swedish jazz, modern Swedish jazz band. Very good. A little bit on the freer side, but very, very interesting stuff. This just happens to be on Radio Juicy Urban Waves. Yeah, Urban Waves Records, and it was limited to 250 copies. So thank you very much, John. I can't wait to clean this guy out. The other thing that he sent me was from Heavenly Sweetness, which is Mulatu Astaki, which is an Ethiopian jazz composer. Uses some jazz and he mixes it with Ethiopian original tracks. Heavenly Sweetness is a French label, and they're known for their Blue Note reissues. I don't think they are using the master tapes at all, and but I've heard some good things about them. I know that they reissued Dexter Gordon's One Flight Up, which I'd be very curious to hear. But I've been very pleased with their pressings. I have a couple of their other ones, not reissues. I'm a big fan of the French artist Guts, and he happens to have a deal with Heavenly Sweetness, and he's been releasing his albums through them, and what I've gotten of his on Heavenly Sweetness I've been impressed with. The other item that he did pass to me is a American saxophonist named Bayard Lancaster, and this is a 45, and it's kind of Bayard Lancaster's tribute to John Coltrane. Bayard Lancaster really came into prominence in the 70s, and he did play saxophone with Sun Ra for a little bit. He also did some work with McCoy Tyner, and I want to say that he did some stuff with Elvin Jones as well. He died, I think, back in 2012, so not too long ago. But this is a very interesting composition, a tribute to John Coltrane. And you know, the first side is kind of a remix, and it's worth checking out. And it makes me wonder if Heavenly Sweetness took their title from one of his albums. So he did an album in the 2000s, I want to say, called Heavenly Sweetness. So it wouldn't surprise me if they took the name for the label from that album. So if anyone knows definitively, let me know. Now, I haven't had a lot of time to spin stuff since I just recently got back, but one of the things that I have been spinning is the new album by Ratatat. Ratatat is an electronic musician. His albums can be hit or miss with me. I did sample this before picking it up. This is a little more guitar heavy, so he uses a lot of guitar samples. Nice gatefold package. This is on XL recordings. And you know, one album to check out to see if you're interested is Cream on Chrome, which I thought was really the standout track on the album. Now, this album, it wasn't consistent. You know, there were some tracks which really have some high-pitched guitar noises and keyboards, which I could do without, but you know, it's not bad, and I was pleased with it. And I think I got it really, really cheap. So that's Ratatat and Magnifique. Magnifique. Yeah. Next up is the Chromatics, and this is their 2012 release, which is Running from the Sun. Sorry, I couldn't remember the title right off the top of my head, but this was the last album they put out, and it's been a while since they came out with a record, so I'm hoping that they're going to come out with something new. So, what is the Chromatics? They're a band out of Oregon, and they are kind of dream pop, chill wave. They're really known for their track Night Drive, which I think was featured off the soundtrack of Drive, with Ryan Gosling. They're really, really relaxed, and I really, really like them. I'm glad that they released this. This one just happened to come on 180 gram on this champagne colored vinyl. On Italians Do It Better. And the album was actually pressed in the Czech Republic, and this is a Pirates press, but really, really good pressing. I was impressed with it, and you can get it really cheaply through their website, Italians Do It Better. Nice foil backing here. Now, the last thing I've been spinning is something that I've been eagerly awaiting for the longest time, ever since these reissues were announced well over a year ago, and this is the Kota Super Deluxe set. So I recently did a video response to the Dark Stuff on Worst Album by Your Favorite Band, and you know, Rob Paniques wanted to kill me for putting this down, but you know, I had to give an honest response. I mean, I don't hate this album by any means. It's just given the circumstances of when it was put together and how it was put together, it doesn't flow well, and that's why it was my least favorite album by the band. But this was a really nice send-off for the last album in the studio's or the band's studio catalog. So you get 2 additional discs of additional material in this guy. With all of the deluxe packages, you get a very nice booklet, and all the booklets have been around 80 pages in length. It's hardcover, has photos of the band, you know, and depending on the year of release, it was really photos, but since Kota is a compilation, you know, it goes all through the band's career, and really nicely put together. So that's just kind of a sampling of, you know, what the books look like. It tops off with usually concert dates from the particular year of release. Of course, this came out in 1982, which was after Bonham's death. So Page put together the album based on the best studio tracks he could find at the time. But at the year of its release, it was actually missing, or he could have added a few things like Hey Hey What Could I Do? What Can I Do, which was outtake or a B-side from Led Zeppelin 3, the Immigrant Song. It was included on this, which is nice. Traveling Riverside Blues, which came out in the 90s remasters, was also included on this. Plus you get some nice additional songs which have never been heard before. Well, some of us have heard it before, like Sugar Mama, which is an outtake from the first session. And you get St. Tristan's Sword, which is a wonderful track. Now, the deluxe sets, you get the album, of course, on 180 gram vinyl. It's been a little bit controversial because they're mastered from 96 kHz 24-bit sources, but they're pressed at Palace, and for the most part, they're really, really good. You get a nice reproduction of the artwork, limited to 30,000, which means it's probably not going to be worth that much. And then you get the bonus album. So some of the standouts for me was If It Keeps On Raining, which is an early outtake from When the Levee Breaks from Led Zeppelin 4, plus the other couple of tracks that were standouts for me were 2 tracks from the 72 Bombay session. So Jimmy Page and Robert Plant went to India in 72, and they did 2 tracks. They did Four Sticks and Friends. There is a bootleg of this material which has an hour long, mostly of them rehearsing Four Sticks. But the tracks here are the polished versions of Four Sticks and Friends, and I want to say one of these cuts has not been on bootleg before, so it's really, really clean. At least it seems a lot more polished. There's also a darker version of In the Light, which is an earlier mix, which I really, really like. So this was really kind of a nice send-off, so I can't recommend it enough. So that's what I've had a chance to spend this week. If you've had any comments, please shoot them down below, and thank you for watching, and everyone have a great week.